90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90 Days couple Loren Allen and Faith Gaddock-Tulad are probably the worst pair in the franchise, and here's why I think so. Loren from Las Vegas and Faith from the Philippines are a part of Season 7 of The 90-Day Fiancé after having filmed their first in-person meeting on the show. Loren met ladyboy Faith on a dating app, and after deciding he wanted to marry her and shift base to go to the Philippines for good, Loren went to meet her without telling her about his intentions. Loren was Faith's first boyfriend in 30 years. I believe she saw Loren as her savior. She thought Loren would take her to the US, where she could finally be accepted. But Faith was mistaken. It hurt to watch Loren admitting to cheating on Faith and justifying it by using his interest in polygamy as an excuse. Faith was being manipulated throughout the season by Loren as he lied to her repeatedly, yet had the guts to ask for her hand in marriage. Poor Faith said yes to Loren, but also briefly won over fans by breaking up with him. Loren's unfaithfulness was the result of Faith's language barrier. Loren took advantage of English not being Faith's first language when he told her he was sleeping with other people. Faith did not realize that Loren meant he was having sex with other people. Loren had a deep interest in polygamy. He wanted multiple partners at once before and after marriage as well. Loren wished to keep other partners outside his marriage after he moved to the Philippines and married Faith. The interesting part here was that Faith was not aware. While Loren tried to justify his unfaithfulness to the cameras, he was caught in a lie when he was on a video call with Faith and had his friends speak to her. They told her that when Loren was first looking on the Filipino dating app, he had so many different girls, but he chose Faith. They told her she was the special choice because Loren chose her. Once the call was disconnected, his friends asked him if they were exclusive, and Loren claimed that they don't really talk about it. Loren knew that Faith was only seeing him and yet chose not to tell her what he was up to in Las Vegas. I'm certain that Loren would not have told Faith about his flings back in the US. Had he not contracted gonorrhea, he could have continued cheating on her for the rest of his life, considering the lies he'd kept from her, including his financial condition and the fact that he wanted to relocate to her country when she dreamed of moving to the US. 90-Day Fiancé's Loren said he was broke and homeless and living on people's couches while having 3 jobs in Las Vegas. Loren planned on spending the rest of his life with Faith in the Philippines but didn't exactly know what he was going to do for work. I think his only plan was to leech off of her, since why would he go to a new country with just $46 in his pocket when he didn't want to come back to the US? According to In Touch, Loren was married to Cheyenne Allen Hines in 2011. They divorced 2 years later after having 2 children. Cheyenne was awarded custody while Loren had to pay child support. It appears Loren failed to pay child support, with his ex-wife accusing Loren of willful abandonment of their children. Cheyenne has been vocal about her money issues, with blogger Shabuti even posting a video where Cheyenne revealed she didn't even have enough money to afford a cake for her son. Meanwhile, I watch Loren having the time of his life in the Philippines. He came across as selfish to me and seemed to be wanting to brush off parenting responsibilities. Loren did not talk about Cheyenne or his 2 children on 90-Day Fiancé. Instead, Loren went on and on about his attraction to trans women. He claimed to have realized he wanted to be with a trans woman at the age of 7 or 8. He blamed his family for forcing him to follow the straight lifestyle, due to which he had cisgender girlfriends. One of them was Esther, who showed up on 90-Day Fiancé to support Loren. He was now friends with her and using her money. However, that's not all. Loren wasn't even supposed to meet Faith in the Philippines before he started filming. Loren was talking to someone else who he thought was a ladyboy but turned out to be a scammer. Loren didn't want his plane ticket to go to waste. He decided to find a new ladyboy on a dating app and knew that Faith was going to walk right into his trap. Shockingly enough, Loren also hooked up with the same person who gave him gonorrhea after he came back to the US. After his split with Faith, Faith ended up taking Loren back despite this episode of infidelity. And it's not known if Faith was aware that Loren also married someone else just under 2 weeks after their split. The 90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90 Days star married a trans woman named Carlos in Las Vegas in December 2023. However, the marriage was short-lived and lasted only for a year. Loren and Carlos divorced in December 2024, claiming they were incompatible. Loren has not talked about his marriage with Carlos on the tell-all, considering the reunion was filmed in October 2024. 90-Day Fiancé. Before the 90 Days couple Loren and Faith were back together for the tell-all. It means that Faith accepted Loren despite the fact that he was married to Carlos. Loren's reason behind marrying Carlos is not known. Knowing him, there would surely be a selfish reason for him to tie the knot with her immediately after coming back to America. Does Faith want to come to America so badly that she has let go of her self-respect and chosen to stay with a man who cheated on her in the past and was also married?